Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Muzaki Olinya, and if it's your first time to log into this channel, please don't forget to subscribe so you can become part of this family, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any video that I'll be posting. But most importantly, every time you like my videos, please drop me a comment and also give me a thumbs up, but also share to friends and family so we can inspire people into the realm of cycle breaking. I love talking about cycle breaking because I've broken through the cycle of bitterness and many other cycles in my life. This whole energy I'm exhibiting is because I've just eaten some delicious, healthy fried rice. And if you want to get to understand how I made that rice, please look out for that video right here in this channel, and you will get the recipe, the full recipe of how to cook delicious, healthy rice. So today I'm going to talk about breaking the cycle of rejection that has been built by the NO experiences that we encounter in our lives. I love talking about cycle breaking because I'm personally a cycle breaker who has broken through bitterness and many more other cycles. And thankfully, by the grace of God, I've come up with a book entitled The Cycle Breaker's Walk. If you want to understand how I broke through the cycle of bitterness and those many other cycles. So by no, I mean NO. The times you've not been accepted, every time you've made proposals, or every time you've tried to make certain submissions and you've been turned down, they have not been accepted. Every time you've tried to make an improvement in the lives of your loved ones and they keep on telling you no, 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 no. Or every time you try to pursue something and you can't reach it, you're given a no. That is a rejection which has culminated as a result of the many turn downs that you've gained. And when you gain turn downs, a lot of them, it's not good. Only it makes you feel so grievant. There's that much grief and sadness that is built within you. Like, I can't make it, and you start even feeling like a misfit, like you're not good enough to do certain things. Why? Because of the many no's, the many turn downs that you've received, the many rejections that you've received as you pursue certain things, certain dreams, or certain goals in your life. This, I have a very good experience, and I know that feeling. Really, it sucks. It really sucks to be turned down. But it doesn't take away the fact that there is a good part of saying no and getting a no. Number one, when you say no to something or someone out there, let's say you have certain priorities in life, and then you get a program that wants to stand in the way of you achieving your priorities. It's very healthy to say no so you can say yes to your priorities. I want to give you a simple example. I am very passionate about family. So in everything I do, I try, in fact, I do my best to see that everything that I do doesn't go against my value and my priority for family. So when you come with an abrupt program, or when you come with a very juicy offer, and I sit down and I weigh it and discover that that juicy offer is actually going against my priority for family, trust me, I will give it a very big turn down so I can give a chance for a huge yes for my family. Since family is very important, and I know all these other things are just like rubber balls. They bounce, a rubber ball bounces and comes back. But family is just like a glass ball, which if risked and thrown down, it can never bounce. It rather breaks, and once lost, it will never be regained. So family is very essential. So anything that stands in the way of my priority for family is a huge no for me. So even when you move out there and you find people that are trying to intimidate you, people that will always come, or let's say you're pursuing a certain goal, and people will always want to be there and talk negative and intimidate you and castigate you and try to make you feel like you can't reach that goal. It's too big, it's too heavy. Like now in the cycle breaking room, you are telling them, I want to break this particular cycle, and they tell you, how can you break that kind of cycle? I call them naysayers. Their work is to just speak negative and try to intimidate you and put you down and make you feel like you can never do anything, you're not worthwhile. So again, if you encounter such people that I call naysayers in your life, in your pursuit of certain goals, it's very healthy to tell them no. Every time you say no to a naysayer, you're creating space for a well-wisher to come and give you the support and help that you need to fight and overcome the cycle that you're going through. So saying no is healthy. And again, when we are told no, every time we encounter no experiences, it also helps us to do a thorough self-assessment of ourselves and get to understand why we are told no, why we've been rejected, or why we've been turned down. So in the process of trying to do a thorough self-assessment, you will discover certain mistakes that you've done while on your way of pursuing that particular thing that you failed to achieve. So you keep asking yourself, it helps you to ask yourself questions like, where did I go wrong? You even do a back trace. You build thorough knowledge in the process of doing a back trace in a bid to understand what went wrong, what didn't happen well. You start now gaining full knowledge and understanding of what went wrong, of the things that failed you, so you can build foolproof strategies that can enable you to do things differently, so you can achieve different results in your future pursuits. So again, it's healthy to be told no, because it will lead you into a thorough self-assessment so you can gain different results in future. However, everything with a higher dose becomes so bad to the system. That's why even when doctors prescribe medicines, they tell you a certain particular dose that will be enough to cure that illness that you're going through. If they tell you to take 2 times 3 a day, and you decide to take 4 times 3, of course the repercussions will not be good. You will start seeing the consequences of an overdose. So an overdose of the no experiences is very unhealthy and dangerous to our lives. It tickles our psychological system, how it starts contributing impure thoughts. It starts breeding fear within our minds. Fear translates into feelings of loneliness, isolation, rejection, and feelings of misfitness. Like you start feeling like, I'm not good enough for anything, because now it has started from your mind. You start manufacturing it, and before you know it, it flows from the mind and enters your heart, and it starts producing feelings of isolation, loneliness, and above all, self-pity. But most importantly, you start even feeling that void in you by virtue of you lacking fulfillment. The fact that people will always tell you you're not good enough, and in the process, you fight to seek for fulfillment. That's when you start thinking that other people are responsible for fighting your own battles and helping you achieve the fulfillment that you require, which is very, very wrong. Well, after you've developed these feelings of isolation, loneliness, and feeling that you're not loved enough, you start building rejection within you. And this rejection can be hyperacute, acute, or chronic. So when it's hyperacute, it develops within a few minutes. When it's acute, it develops between the first week of you starting having those feelings and the 3 months. And then when it's chronic, it is built over years. That means you've even tried to digest things, you've thought through them, and now it has settled down within you that you are actually not good enough for anything. So that is where now the problem is, because it has turned into a cycle of rejection. Number one, accept the pain and let it unveil, let it roll. You develop a sense of maturity. That's the second point. By adhering to the fact that you and you alone are the only redeemer of your own self from that cycle that you're going through of rejection. You stop counting on other people and stop making them victims of your own cycle, because the more you keep counting on other people, you not only create chance for disappointments, but you also give opportunity for that cycle to keep on happening, reoccurring. So when we discover that, we face the situations head on and start fighting. And number three, you run to your support system for help, because within a support system, we find friends, we have trusted relatives, we also have counselors within our support systems that we can talk to, unleash our pain and share the pain with them, so we can gain the right help that we need to fight and overcome that cycle of rejection that has been built within our lives by the NO experiences. So after turning to the support system, if possible, create a distance, move away from environments and people that keep reminding you or that keep instilling the NO experiences. Every time you come across naysayers, you will always feel isolated, you will always feel you're not good enough. So the best way for us to discover our potential, to discover the strengths within us, and unleash them to our expectations, is when we move away. This I learned the time I created a distance from a certain environment of naysayers that kept on reminding me of how much a failure I was, of how much a misfit I was. How that I will never forget. That was an environment that looked very beautiful on the outside, but yet so intimidating and castigating on the inside. So the day I made up my mind to move out of that environment, trust me, I got an opportunity to discover quite a number of strengths and a number of gifts that God has given me. And I was able to exhibit them and unleash my potential to where I am now. In fact, I am not ashamed to say that I am what I am now because I took that step that day to move out of that environment. So it's very important to move out of an environment of people, an environment or people that keep reminding you or that keep on turning you down, reminding you of the NO experiences, people that will always keep creating atmospheres for NO experiences. Yes. Every time you're in an atmosphere of a NO experience, you're bound to feel like you're not good enough. So keeping away from that is good and healthy to ourselves, for us as cycle breakers. So finally, it's very important to seek for divine intervention and help from God. Why? Because once you understand your value in God's eyes, once we get to understand the value that God attaches onto us, how much He loves us, how much He honors and cares about us, how much He respects us, and how much He takes pride in our strength. It doesn't matter. We will learn to extend, to translate that to our fellow human beings. Because the first step to understanding how to accept others or be accepted by others is when we let God, we get to understand how much God has accepted us and how we are willing to accept him into our lives. When we accept him into our lives, he teaches us how to accept others. So the more you let God chart the course of your life, the more you let God be the anchor of your life and allow him to accept him into your life, the more easier it becomes for you to accept others. So if you've liked this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also share with friends and family so we can inspire someone out into the realm of cycle breaking. Otherwise, I sign out and I hope to see you in my next videos.